So a lot of people think that, so in India, when you see MBA courses, you will see MBA in finance or MBA in marketing or MBA in HR, right? But the
Mhm.
international schools, the international programs that you went to NTU, there is no separate distinction. It's an MBA.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
come from a human resources background and you're doing an MBA.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
how do you think that general management MBA impacted your capability as a human resource leader to do what you're doing right now? And I think this will also help a lot of HR professionals who maybe want to explore what you're doing
Yeah.
right now, Damini.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And I think that's a very good question. Why? Because when you come from HR or say any function, before MBA, at least in the first initial few years of your career, you're doing a job at a very operational level, and that's how it should be. That's how you start, right? You start learning from the base. But you have this limited direction that you work in because you are just into the execution part of it. Yes, you have some visibility of how the leadership works. If you are working in like very big multinational companies, there's only like limited view of how things are discussed at the top, and this is very limited. When you go for an MBA, especially the global MBA that I was a part of, it opens up your horizons. It gives you a bigger picture, in the sense that you have this holistic learning of, okay, that's how marketing works, or that's how operations work, or that's how finance works, and it all comes together at the top, and this is how a decision is made and executed through different layers to the last person. That lens of how a marketing person approaches a challenge, or how a commercial person goes out on the field and sells, is very important for an HR perspective. The kind of role that I'm currently in, it's called a business partner role. How do I partner with businesses? If I actually cannot put on their lens, I have to switch on their lens when they're talking about their issues. If there's attrition in China, or if there's a merger in China, okay, what questions do I have to ask my team to actually get to the root cause of it? They'll just come and say, okay, my team is unable to sell this product out in the field. It's so like raw, like you don't know what it means. So you would start asking the right questions, which an MBA will give you access to. This perspective, this diversity of thought is something that I picked up from my batchmates. I picked up from my professors, from uh, all areas of the corporate sector, and this is what I brought to my job here. And the best part is I can always go back to them. Like I said, I'm still evolving. There's a lot of issues that I had during the COVID situation, to be very honest. And if I were to understand how my uh, clients have to cater to the customers remotely, uh, I need to go back to people dealing with this kind of technology, right? And asking them that, okay, how does this technology work, and how can I translate it for my people who are remotely now catering to the customer, and what does the customer need to do to actually be able to absorb it optimally. So this journey and this switching on this perspective is something that not only those 10 months, everything that goes on before it, around it, after it, still going on, is very necessary for a HR professional.
So tell me one thing. A lot of people, a lot of Indian applicants go for, so there's a thing around that says that it's hard for, and I used to see it that way, that it's hard for internationals to find human resources jobs in other countries, right? You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
work in finance, you can help organizations redesign their balance sheets, raise
Mhm.
capital, you can help companies streamline their operations. But when it comes to the cultural differences,
Yeah,
why an international company working in their organization would not be open to having somebody because coming from a different culture to help them with team recruiting, resizing, restructuring?
yeah.
How did you how did you bridge that gap? How easy was it? How tough was it? And I remember this was a conversation that you and I had as well
Yeah,
during the goals time. you know.
Yes.
So tell us
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
about it. And I'm going to learn from this conversation now already.
Definitely, definitely. Okay, so I want to share a few facts first, okay, about my cohort. So I had like 90 people in my class. Only two of us were from HR. Okay, only two. And even throughout the MBA, I had questions from everybody, okay, not only back in India, where HR is also viewed in, that light that probably is just a support function, but even during my MBA, I was asked questions like, why do you need to do an MBA to be in HR? Okay. And believe me, I have thought about it a lot during those 10 months and even after that. And I have an answer to it now and I use it. It's a funny statement, but I use it. It's like, we keep saying that HR needs a seat at the table. But the thing is, MBA is a way for HR to invite themselves to the table where the dinner is being served. You know, that's how I look at it. Because all this while, we say uh, culture eats strategy for a breakfast and all these kind of statements out there. But how does it really work? Is where HR comes in. See, I studied with people like you, finance, you have been learning all these very hardcore technology and techniques and blockchain and everything out there. But I was sitting in the class with you and observing when you were saying, okay, we need to do step A, B, C to actually launch a blockchain technology in this sector. But I actually was thinking like minus A, minus B, minus C. Okay, you need to do first these things before you're able to do ABC. So, that's how it worked for me. So, I think that is very, very important. Now, coming to doing a regional role in Singapore, I think again the MBA helps a lot. We had like 25 nationalities in the class, right? And you are observing them all the time. That's how it works. Like for HR, you need to observe behaviors, personalities, how people are absorbing content. How are they reacting? And this is what I did all throughout, and that's how I am as a person as well. I'm very curious as to why a person behaves like this, and I was able to learn, pick up these cues during those 10 months. And one more thing, I was like impressed by one of the courses I had. It was cultural intelligence. I think it's being taught in a lot of MBA programs as well. But it's very interesting because we've talked about IQ, EQ, but this was CQ, and this was new to me, but it was very important because we were all put out in a room and asked to talk about stereotypes of Indians, of Chinese, of Germans, and we could, discuss and debate because it's all about, building empathy towards people and understanding how they are wired, and how we can do things differently, or how we can pick up best practices from things they do and actually work all together uh, in a happy world out there. So this is something that really helped me when I came to my regional role, because there are some things I know about these people already, culturally speaking, right? I cater to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, I even cater to China and Hong Kong, which is very different. And then you have Japan, which is very, very culturally different as well. A good thing is that I have a network there now. So if I have a labor law issue in Japan, sometimes, there are some restrictions, when you're trying to implement something and it's far away and you've not worked in the country on ground. I just reach out to these people and I pick up the phone and like, just connect me to a specialist in labor law. I can connect with this week. And I really need to understand how to translate this so that we can build a policy for Japan specifically, because we need to cater to different countries differently. So yeah, this is a little bit about how you pick up, that cultural intelligence from a global MBA program, which helps you in a regional or a global role because you're working with all kinds of people next after your MBA.